Welcome to Blueprint Boost for Contractors, the podcast that's your go-to source for unlocking the secrets to successful marketing, gaining valuable insights, and growing your contracting business with less stress. Your host is David Brooks, and he's thrilled to be your guide on this journey. As a seasoned expert in the contracting industry, David understands the challenges you face. That's why each episode is crafted to provide you with actionable strategies and proven blueprints to boost your business to new heights.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, David Brooks, powered by Contractor Rhino, your go-to source for all your digital marketing and accounting needs in the trades. For this episode, I have two special guests with me, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves.
Hey, what's up, David? My name is Will Kinsey. I'm the founder and CEO of Conduit Warranty Corporation, Conduit Wealth Creation. Been in the service industries now for about 2 years. Automotive warranty companies, and we specialize in creating contractor-owned warranty companies that allow the contractors themselves to participate in some of the wealth creation as well as the underwriting profits.
And I'm Jacob G. I'm one of the co-owners at G Heating and Air in Atlanta, Georgia. Been in the trades really my whole life, but really actually professionally for the last 14 years. And then recently, within the last 5-6 years, own my own business in G Heating and Air. So that's my background.
Excellent. I'm glad to have you both on as a guest for this episode.
Excited to be here, David.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. So, Will, you're a little bit of, I call the mad scientist out of the two of you guys. You developed an amazing product. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, sure, David. So, by the way, appreciate the mad scientist label. That's one of the nicer things people have called me. Some background. I come from a family in the trades. My entire family's in the trades. My grandfather was a builder. He was a residential developer. My dad is a custom home builder. My brother's a builder, and my other brother is an electrician. So I came out of the trades. I was the black sheep of the family. I went into financial services. And through that, I was able to learn about an industry called reinsurance and micro-captive reinsurance, which essentially what we were doing is we were going out for these huge white collar corporations, and we were opening them up, micro-captive reinsurance companies, which we'll dive into in depth a little bit later. But basically, it allowed them to write warranties into a warranty company that they owned, which came with some tax advantages, as well as some wealth creation, some ways to golden handcuff their management. There were a lot of advantages to it. And Jake actually is from my hometown. He and I went to college together, and we were having lunch one day, and he said, "Hey, Will, what is it that you do, right? Like what exactly is your job?" So I explained it to him at a high level, and he said, "Listen, there's nothing like that in the trades. It doesn't exist for us, right? We can either do an in-house program, which has a lot of legal issues that you can run into, as well as a lot of bandwidth that it takes out of the company. You have to put man hours in to actually manage it. And then 99% of the time it's still not managed properly. Or we can purchase warranties from a third party. If you guys could create this same product for us, where we're able to actually own a warranty company and then your company administrate it for us, so we don't have to actually apply man hours to running it, we'd love that." So we went and took our team of attorneys and our actuarial team, and we worked on it for about 8 months side by side with the G's. So it's kind of cool to have them here. They were the inaugural people in the industry to do this, the very first, as far as I know. And we were able to create the product for them and roll it out successfully in their company. And it's been gangbusters since then. For probably 12 months after that, we were getting just word of mouth, organic growth. We were a bit hard-headed about entering the industry. Finally, I recognized, hey, there is truly a need here, right? There's guys that do want this. And to be honest, working with the trades was great because everyone was so nice and so willing to talk to the next guy and say, hey, you need to take advantage of this. This is an amazing opportunity. It was really refreshing for me. And it also was kind of back to my roots. So ultimately, I ended up splitting off from the agency I was a part of and focusing solely on the service industries now for about 3 years. We are a Nexstar strategic partner. We're getting to do a lot of other cool things in the industry. We have a lot of the major players out there that are signing up now, and it's been really exciting to grow with the industry. But ultimately, we feel like it's really great to work with a bunch of guys that are here to help each other, and it's been great to bring a product in that helps everybody win. So
That's great. That's amazing. Really being able to provide that value, and then realizing that the trades was, being overlooked. There's a lot of value there to be had. And I love the fact that you were able to say, you know what, I'm just going to buckle down in this one Pacific area. And then, you talking with Jacob and saying, hey, what do you do? I always love those conversations. What exactly do you do? And being able to find a connection between the two, that's great.
yeah, man, it was one of those things where this is not it's not a new business structure, right? It's existed since the 60s, 70s. And basically every industry in the world had this. So when Jake was actually able to say, like, no, we've never even heard of this before. Like, what is this? It was shocking to the point to where we went back to our offices and we dug in for weeks researching, like, there's got to be somebody out here doing this for these guys. And it didn't exist. So we've really been able to disrupt the market, and it's been really cool. It's been exciting, fun industry to work in.
Nice, amazing, amazing. And Jake, can you tell us a little bit about, on your side of things?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I thought it was really interesting. I loved that kind of world of like, as far as accounting ways of, handling money, as far as tax benefits and all stuff. So when the conversation when Will was kind of telling it to me, I was like, I'd love to explore this. I think there could be some really cool, like, tax savings, and all that kind of stuff. So when he developed the program, we kind of worked back and forth on a lot of the details, what kind of works best for contractors. So it truly was built. Will him and his team were very receptive to like what would work best for the contractor side, instead of just being, more of the former world influence in the program. Is really the contractors like really kind of molded this to, best fit our needs and what's going to, make us the most money, make our customers the happiest, keep our customers in our ecosystem, all those things that I really wanted to keep instead of just sending off, to alternatives being third party, labor warranties or all that kind of stuff. You kind of send the customer off to them. They get whereas this program, we're able to retain the customer. So whenever I started thinking about all this stuff, I was like, I kind of kept me up all night. One of those things where your brain is just swirling. I'm like, man, I really like this a lot. And that's, we kind of start exploring it more. A lot of questions, it does have a lot of questions to it on the front end. We're just kind of like, how's this work? How's this work? But we kind of ironed all that stuff out over the last 4 years of being in this program. And I'll tell you, man, it's been a massive help for us. It gave us, customers love it because we get to handle basically how we feel best for the customer. It's not some third party portal that, even though it has all those abilities, end of the day, it's the contractor that really gets to decide how to best handle their customer with all the, reassurances for the customer that they're protected and the contractor's protected, right? And we'll kind of go into a little bit more on those details, but one of the things that I liked about it also was the fact that I get to keep the cash, right? I mean, the cash stays into the contractor owned warranty. It is a separate entity from the actual heating and air company, but it allows us to hold the premium from those policies. So I get to keep the customer, I get to keep the cash. It's a fully clipped, again, we'll can kind of explain the more details on that as far as insured, to make sure that it's compliant and legal. and that it's not just some program that could go up in ashes. It does have an insurance policy that, if something were to happen to the policy, that the insurance company then steps in to make sure the customer is taken care of. I liked all those details of it. And then after the 4 years, I've stacked quite a bit in our reserve. That money is also then, it's actually in a Wells Fargo account that is a wealth managed kind of account that is conservatively, based on the laws of it, invested. So it's in like very conservative mutual funds. I think it's like in some of the some like T-bills, just random kind of stuff like that. It's very conservative kind of stuff, but it allows that cash to then grow. It's also in a, again, Wilkins can kind of go a little bit more into that detail, but it also has a lot of tax savings because it is an insurance, right? So it has to be held for future liabilities and all that kind of stuff. And so whenever you claim against it for, your customer that's having to go back out to their house quite a few times, I'm able to just, hey, let me go ahead and take some money out of the warranty company to kind of help cover on our heat and air side, and all that kind of stuff. So it does help also on the heat and air side of, covering costs, things that, you might, a lot of times we were 3-year-old system, we felt bad for them. So we would just continue to, to just kind of take care of the customer, costing us a lot of profits, right? So this helps us protect those profits as well too. But yeah, so after 4 years, stacked a lot of cash in that warranty program. Then there's a lot of things that are open to you, as far as being able to loan that money to, the company to help growing the company even more. There's a lot of those kind of things, really cool things you can do with the cash, that allows you to kind of stay within the program and everything like that. So it's just been 4 years has been huge. I really don't believe GE and Air would be where it's at. The growth we had, I mean, we had a rocket growth the last 2-3 years. And I think it helped us separate ourselves from a lot of the competition that was only doing like 1 year. We have, all kinds of plans, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, labor warranties. That's really kind of helped us rocket growth, in all that sense. So that's what I really liked about the thing. I know it's kind of all over the place, but I just really enjoyed the program a lot. And I told Will after 4 years, I was like, dude, you got to go give more contractors. And I've recommended it to a lot of my friends. I've recommended it to a lot of the other contractors I know in the industry. And I was like, dude, you're not very smart not being on this program. So that's kind of where I'm passionate about it, and I like it a lot. So
That's amazing. That was a lot to unpack. That was a lot of great
yeah, no, it's a
value
sorry.
there that was given, and so many, I think, benefits of being in the program, right? Being able to service the customer better, being able to keep them inside, being able to do right by them, being able to have the option to take the money and not, have it bleed out your business, and a lot of different other areas that are in there. And I'm going to pivot back to Will and, and hand it back over to him to talk about, some of those different areas. And, like if I'm, a contractor and I'm interested, what are some of the common things that I might need to know before
Sure.
entering?
Yeah. So David, this is one of those deals where it's like we've kind of been able to merge the best of both worlds, right? The benefits of a third party warranty being that you don't have to have the man hours, you don't have to have the manpower to actually process a warranty, right? But also you have the benefits of an in-house warranty and the fact that you have some say-so, you have some ability to have some control. So David, let's do this. Let's walk through what it would look like for you as a contractor, and then let's also follow the money, because the financial advantages of this are huge as well. So as a contractor, here's essentially what you would be looking at. You would open a separate entity. And by you, I mean my team. My team would open it for you. We would simply sit down, we would fill out a packet together, and we would open you up a separate entity from your HVAC company or from your electrical company, plumbing, whatever it is you're doing. Completely separate entity. We would create shares for that company, and that company would act as a warranty company that you own. Okay. My company, Conduit, just simply administrates it for you. So let's say that you own ABC HVAC and you also own ABC Warranty Corporation. So as ABC HVAC installs a unit, you guys are going to limited labor warranty to your customer. Once that unit's installed, once you get paid at the end of the month, ABC HVAC would purchase a 10-year labor warranty from Conduit, right? So let's say that that's $1,000. That's a nice round number. That's higher than it actually is, but we're going to use nice round numbers here. So you would purchase that for $1,000 at the end of the month. The $1,000 is going to come to my administrative office. My office is going to take that money and we're going to do everything that's necessary to make this program legal. So we're going to pay seating fees. We're going to pay a premium tax, which is a very small tax that we have to pay at the state level. And it's going to vary a bit based on which state you're in, but small tax. And then we also purchase a CLIP. That's a contract liability insurance policy. So basically what we do is we purchase an insurance policy that backs up this warranty from day one. So out of $1,000, let's say between seating fees, premium tax, and purchasing a CLIP, which a CLIP is necessary to operate legally in the US. You can't just start an insurance company in the United States. You have to have someone that is approved by the government to back it, right? And that's where we come in. We have those relationships and we actually purchase those policies on your behalf. So let's say all that cost around $200 to process everything. Now there's $800 that's left. That $800 is going to go into a bank account that's held by your warranty company. That money is going to be invested on your behalf by my team. We've partnered with Raymond James, actually out of their Philadelphia office, David. Raymond James is our partner. They actually manage the trust. They have an entire department that specializes in investing insurance premium, which is what this is classified as. That $800 also does not have a tax liability in that account because it is considered insurance premium. So there's future risk on it. So there's not going to be income tax liability on the $800. It's going to be invested on your behalf. Right now, we're seeing very conservatively 5 to 9%. Last year, a lot of our clients saw 15 to 17%. I'm not sure what the market's going to do this year, but that $800 is going to sit there and it's going to work for you, right? The idea for us is over the course of 10 years, as that policy matures, right? As the risk goes away, because we wrote a 10-year policy, right? We want to earn you back whatever you had to pay out in fees to get that money into that account. So the goal here is in 10 years, now you have $1,000 sitting in your reinsurance company, and it essentially acts as a retirement account for you, right? So the risk is gone from that money. Now the question is how do we access that money? How do we pull it out as profit? So you can pull that out as profit as either a qualified dividend, which would only be a 20% tax rate, or we can actually open that up and start using it as an operating account, essentially as like a line of credit or a small bank on your behalf, David. So you can actually take loans out of that money and pay back money to your reinsurance company. So there's a lot of advantages from a tax standpoint. And what we're really doing is allowing you to play the same games that major corporations are playing. From a manpower situation, David, we handle everything. Your team's only job is to focus on selling HVAC units, right? You sell a unit and then you purchase a policy just like you would be purchasing a policy from a standard third-party warranty provider. No different than if you bought it from the manufacturer. You send the money off just like you bought it from the manufacturer. My team handles it from there. And then we take the line haul of that money after we've done everything that it needs to be done with to be legal, and we put it into an account that you hold. So we want you to keep the majority of the money. We have the claims department, so you guys don't have to worry about anything from a claim standpoint. When you call in claims, my company is going to look over it. We're going to make sure that it's all within the realms of the contract, which 99% of the time, if the contractor who installed the unit and also owns the warranty company calls in a claim, there's no issues, right? We pay the claim out of that bank account, the same bank account we discussed that would be holding those funds. And we handle every bit of this for you. So there's nothing from a day-to-day standpoint that you have to do other than continue to install HVAC units and then just purchase warranties. That's it. We handle everything else. There's a lot of advantages with this as well because there's a lot of private equity coming into the industry, right? So let's say that your plan is to grow your HVAC company. There's guys that are in-housing warranties. As soon as PE comes in, David, and they look at ABC HVAC and they see that you've been telling every customer they get a 10-year labor warranty, but you don't have reserve set aside, you don't have a clip bought, there's nothing actually backing that, they're going to say, David, man, we can't pay you the multiple that we said we were going to pay you because there's this downstream risk on your company and it's a liability. So we're going to have to cut down the amount of money that we can offer you, right? However, what's interesting about insurance is if we take that same risk and we move it into an insurance company, which is what we would be forming for you, now it becomes an asset, right? It becomes actually something that we can put a dollar amount on and say, this reinsurance company is worth money. Here's what our historical loss ratios are. Here's how much money is in this account. It's earning, it's $1 million. It's earning 10% a year. So we're making 100 grand a year, and our loss ratios are only at 30%. So we can say this company in 20 years is going to be worth $2.4 million. Where if you in-house that program, the same exact program, they're going to say, David, your company, your HVAC company is worth $1.5 million less because there's this downstream risk on your HVAC company. So the whole idea here is to take an entity and take a necessary risk, right? You have to have some type of a warranty. You have to have some type of a guarantee to be competitive now. So rather than in-housing that and putting that risk on yourself, or just losing the money by putting it on a third party, let's kind of take a hybrid here and let's let you turn your risk into an asset. A few things I kind of want to touch on here is like the reason we purchased that clip is, David, let's say ABC HVAC were to go out of business. No problem. Miss Smith, who had that unit installed at her home that has a policy written on it, is protected by the backup clip. So ABC HVAC goes out of business. ABC Reinsurance Company runs out of money. Miss Smith has a claim. She would call our call center. We would dispatch another HVAC company to her home, and the clip, that backup insurance that we purchased from day one, would step in and pay that claim on her behalf. So she's protected regardless. Another thing that's interesting is in like an M&A situation, a merger acquisition situation, if you were to sell your HVAC company, you could offer to sell your reinsurance company with it. So we could say, hey, here's this reinsurance company that's over here on the side, and my team could put together a number and say it's worth, $2.8 million extra. You can purchase that with your company, or you could retain your reinsurance company and sell your HVAC company and maybe say, hey, the person that's buying it, I'd like for you to that's going to allow you to keep making passive income over on your warranty company on the side. There's a lot of advantages here. The other thing that we often are able to do with the HVAC company versus the warranty company is a lot of guys are looking for, hey, how do I hold on to my management team? How do I put golden handcuffs on these guys that we want to be a part of our team for a long time? So what we are starting to do for people is suggesting, listen, keep your HVAC company, David. Own 100% of your HVAC company. On your reinsurance company, though, your warranty corporation, let's create some stocks. Let's create B stocks, right? So non-voting shares. And let's give manager Mark 10% ownership of your reinsurance company, which, by the way, is going to be worth $1.5 million in 12 years. And so now we can write these B shares, and we can put bylaws on the shares that says, as long as Mark stays with David's HVAC company and he retires in goodwill, he can cash out his shares of this company, and he's going to be able to walk away with an extra $150,000, $200,000, $300,000. So it also allows us a nice vehicle to kind of offer golden handcuffs to our management team. So we're checking a lot of boxes here. It allows you to advertise a warranty, which you can do a value add. You can make quite a bit of money by doing it with this vehicle, right? So it's wealth creation. It's going to allow you to have a lot of options when you get ready to sell your company or retire from your company. And it's going to allow you to do it all legally, right? You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to apply the manpower. It's all done for you. So that's a 50,000 foot view of the advantages of the program.
That's great. That is a really comprehensive breakdown of, the structure, the kind of like the ins and outs, and just the pure benefits of the program, and how it really just is setting your business up for more success, right? Like it's, the money's not leaving your pocket. It's actually being, kept in your pocket back into the company. And I love the fact that you said, hey, look, you can have those shares for, part of your team. and they can also benefit off of it too, which is like a huge difference maker. I think that, implementing that and having that, it just sets your company apart from the competition, this period. And I know Jake, like I know you can probably, say that as well. I think it's not only the benefits are there for the company, but also employee retention. Like who else is doing
Exactly.
that?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's been a huge plus that that was something that was kind of a byproduct whenever we originally set up the whole program and stuff 4 years ago. Will brought it to me. He's like, "Hey, by the way, we do have these, B shares and all that stuff that he was kind of explaining." And I was like, this program is just one of those cool programs that like you can kind of mold like sand where it's just like it kind of whatever way can help if there's an issue and you're like, hey, I want to be able to reward these guys, but it's really tricky when you give up equity. That's one thing that I've learned from some people over the years is like when you start giving up equity, it gets really convoluted in your company. But if you can give equity and shares in a mutual reserve that really it's like, hey, you have equity now in this reserve that's motivated by sales on the other side, which is going to benefit the company, it's going to benefit yourself, and it's going to benefit that manager by building that reserve up, right? So then I was just like, goodness gracious, that's another layer of this thing that we had when we first went into it, no idea that was stuff that existed. Apparently, all this stuff exists everywhere else but inside of the contractor world. But so I mean, it's cool in watching people over the last like I said, we launched like 4 years ago, I think it was exactly. But we've seen a lot of other companies. Will's been telling me left and right, some other people that have just been like they're super excited too about it. Because at first I'm like, am I just being naive? Like being the first ones, you're kind of like, where's the where's the what's the word like like what's the catch like what's the where's something that's going to really hit me later, because when you're the first one you kind of pioneering it with Will and all this stuff, and as on the contractor side you're kind of like, this is kind of weird. It's too good to be true, and hearing some other companies, some really big names. I don't know if Will can share the big names that are kind of already adopting to it, but some really large companies that are kind of pioneers in the industry and stuff like that are starting to kind of take to it as well, and seeing what they're doing with it. And then the idea is that they're kind of like, hey, let's play with this, let's do this. That's cool too, because it is a very customizable, because he is building individual warranties for these companies. It really can be applied to a lot of different. We pioneered it with HVAC, right? Then we went into plumbing, and then we went into. Will tells me, cool stories of other industries that are kind of starting to adapt into it as well. Solar, I don't know what I can share as far as that goes, Will, but but it is cool to see how cool the contracting world is kind of igniting with it and like taking and running with it as well. So that's just one little thing I wanted to add to it as well, kind of what going off what Will said, but. You can tell he has the details and the more the expertise background on this kind of stuff. But as a contractor side, really enjoy it. It's been a great benefit to myself. It's one of those generational wealth kind of things that can really change our trajectory for myself and my family and my kid. So seeing that kind of stuff is really, really cool. So.
That's great. That's a well spoken from, like you said, is this too good to be true? Like
Yeah.
and I doubt that Will would have been like, I'm gonna get one over my buddy, but but yeah, I know like how it would sound coming, like if it came to me, and it's like, is this true? Because
Yeah.
it's great. Like it's so much value there, and I think sometimes where it's so much value and so much benefit, we're like, and
Sure.
then like it hasn't been in the industry, so it's like, are you for real?
Yeah. Well, another thing I didn't really believe when Will told me at first, and I kind of was almost about to tell him to hold the brakes off on it at the beginning when I didn't really understand everything, because I thought I was going to be the one that was going to have to file the taxes. I thought I was going to be the one that was going to have to take care of like, the premiums and this and sending this money this way. And he was like, dude, he's like, you don't understand. The agency handles all of that stuff. He was like, that's what he said. You literally just submit the contract whenever you sell it to a customer, just like you do with any other third party warranty company. You submit the person's name, their address, where it's the unit it's located for. and they literally handle. And then the cool thing is, I have a portal that I go to and I check it about every morning just because it's kind of cool to see, that has the money in the reserve. And so I'm able to see every morning, like, there's more money in the reserve. This is awesome. Like, as when it comes to like contracting world, how anybody in the contractor world understands there's high tides and low tides with the cash flow, right? It's like summer comes, cash flow's flowing in and you're on, top of the world. And then slow times come and you're like, man, but seeing that account and knowing that I don't owe any distributors from it, I don't owe any payroll from it, I don't owe any of that stuff, whatever from it. And just, it really, it kind of holds you to like, that this is really a cool program that I can just stack cash, and that's nothing that's related to the heat and air side. And so I don't have to worry about the volatility of that and all that stuff. So that's been cool. And just kind of a rewarding thing for our hard work over the years. So
I love that how like it's different, it's separate from the ebb and flow of your HVAC business of like, oh, all right, summer is here, great, winter's here, things tail off, and you don't have to worry about that on that side of the business. And then I love the fact that you said Will says that's already all that stuff is taken care of for you, so it's definitely a no-brainer because it doesn't add a whole lot of more things on my plate that I may not fully comprehend and understand and know where to go, and it just gets
yeah.
taken care of for you.
Yeah, they handled the entirety of all the accounting because that was one of my big things. We were at the time when we were, growing really fast, we were having a hard time keeping up with our accounting side of things and making sure our books were accurate, all these things. And I was like, dude, Will, I was like, this is the last thing I need to get into some trouble with, like, insurance and all these things, whatever. And he was like, dude, I'm telling you, the agency, just trust me. When we first launched, it was like 4 years ago. And it was like, just trust me, the agency will send you basically your end of the year reports. They have the recession reports, these things that kind of come, concession reports that kind of come in monthly. It tells you how many plans you wrote, all that stuff. So, but other than that, you'll forget you even have the thing. And then a year later, you'll be like, how much, you'll look in there and be like, how much money I got? Oh, wow, there's a lot of money in this reserve. And, but you really do forget that you have the company because it's set up in our company. All of our sales guys sell it. We have people that write, then submit the policy thing. You really forget you have the program. And then all of a sudden, when you're like, want to look at the cash, you're like, oh, I do have that program, so it really is like, you don't even think about it, which I know that's what a lot of contractors that I've talked to that I've recommended. They're like, dude, I don't want another, this, that having to take care of. So.
I love that.
Yeah, David, we pride ourselves on being white glove from literal conception into management for the next 20 years, right? We're not here to date our clients. We're here to get married. That's what I tell everyone. So it honestly takes around 2 to 3 hours of the contractor's time to set up the entire process. Everything else we handle on our end. So from A to Z, right? We do a few agreements. We do a producer and a warehouse agreement, and then we do a reinsurance packet. We can get people into our system writing in about 3 business days, which is pretty quick. And then we turn around, and it takes us around 5 to 6 months to open the reinsurance company, to open up those extra bank accounts. So what we do in the meantime is we actually hold those funds on behalf of the contractor. We put it in a little savings account that would say, for benefit of David, right? Until your reinsurance company's formed, so that you don't have to wait 5 months for us to get this set up. You can start writing day 3, right? So you're able to come in, you're able to get writing quickly. The other thing that we do is we offer training for your team. We like to come in and train the sales team and really show them how to pitch the benefits of a warranty and this coverage to the community, which interestingly enough has ended up being one of like the top things that people call us back about. Is like, hey, can you come out and do more sales training? Can you come out and do it again? And that's been fun for me because ultimately my roots way back were in sales training. And so every now and then I still actually get to hop on a plane and fly out and do sales training. And I really enjoy getting to do that myself. But we white glove that entire setup process to where it's something that's extremely easy for a contractor, and we can get you writing quickly. and you don't really have to spend a whole lot of mental bandwidth. I would say total effort between 2 to 3 hours for the contractor. And then we just watch everything on a month-to-month basis. Everything's paid on a monthly basis rather than like a contract by contract basis. So essentially, we just collect data at the end of the month and we say, okay, you guys wrote 100 policies this month. This is what you guys owe us. And then the company pays at once for the entire month rather than having to pay individually for the contract. And then the same thing on the claims processing side. We have two ways we can handle it. You can either call in a claim immediately and we can pay that claim over the phone right then via credit card. So David, you call in, you go, hey, Will, we need 3 hours of labor. I pay you right then via credit card. Or if you'd like, and it's easier for your team, you can fill out a report at the end of the month and send us an entire list of your claims for the month, and we pay you in one lump sum for the month. We want to be flexible. We want to be contractor minded. That's one thing that's great about Conduit is from the beginning, it was built with contractors in mind. Rather than being a warranty company that entered into the contractor space, we're a contractor minded company from day one. So everything's been built around how do we make this as easy as we possibly can for guys in the service industries, because this is a global standard. If something is hard to do, if something is a pain to do, people don't want to do it. So our entire goal here is to white glove the whole process, offer training, be there for constant assistance. We have a full team. We have actuarial teams. We have call centers. We have legal. We're there for every step of the way, and we handle as much as we can. I tell people we're in the volume business, David. We're in the sprinkle business, right? You keep the ice cream, you keep the whipped topping, you keep the syrup, you can even keep the cherry. We just want the sprinkles, right? We're going to take our little cut on that administrative fee and everything else is going to go to you. And our goal is to hopefully have an entire industry of people that are writing this policy, and we're playing a volume game.
Excellent. That's great information. So much value there. Amazing to be able to have something like this specifically for the trades, to let it transform your business. And I love the fact that it's January. So like guys can come on board and start the year off with a bang. I love that. So much value at this, particular time. And I think it's great that if, you can get this implemented inside your business right now, it's going to set you up for better success this year. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's customization benefits. Right now I know that a lot of warranties that exist in the industry, it's just kind of, hey, it is what you get, right? Like it is what it is. With us, we're able to sit down and, David, let's say that you go, look, Will, I want to write a 15.5-year labor warranty. I want to be real unique. I want to do 15.5 years, and I want my labor reimbursement rate to be $263 an hour. I'm going to look at you and go, David, that's a little weird. That's strange, right? However, it's within the realms of reality. You're not wanting to do anything crazy. So let's get my team together. Let's put together what pricing is going to look like for that. Let's set what our underwriting costs need to be, and let's go. Versus if you're dealing with a third party, it's going to be challenging. And then obviously, if you're in housing, something like that, now we're putting risk on our books again, and we're creating a lot of work for ourselves. So.
Excellent. I love the white glove service approach, being able to take care of the people that are coming in and just set them up for success. It's amazing to be able to get that kind of customization and just help and guidance along the way, because sometimes you hear about things and it's like, it's great, but it doesn't have that customized appeal or approach, or a lot of questions are left unanswered because nobody's picking up the phone or willing to hop on a call and kind of work it through with you guys. But I love it.
Yeah, David, that was something that was shocking to me, and we've grown quite a bit in the industry, right? We've been well adopted. We have some of the big players. With that being said, I was kind of shocked at the level of service that a lot of vendors were offering to the contractors. And what I would tell you is as a whole, our client base is overwhelmed with the level of service that we're offering, because we're just offering what we would offer, any Fortune 500 company to you guys. And it's like, we just want to take care of our clients. And we've never lost a client. We don't intend on losing any clients. We're in this for long-term growth. But yeah, white glove service, I feel like it's something that's kind of overlooked in the service industries as a whole from a vendor standpoint. And that is something that as the CEO, I'll say I stand behind. Every single client that we bring on is going to get that level of service. As a matter of fact, a few months back, we had to slow down sign-ons because I said, listen, we're not going to take on more clients than we can manage to the level that I want to manage them at, right? And the customer and client experience is our number one concern. So we want to make sure we're taking care of the contractor.
Great. I love that. Well, it's been amazing. So much value here. If somebody wanted to get in contact with you guys, where can they find you at?
Sure. So I'm in a bad habit of doing this, so I'm going to keep doing it. I'm actually going to go ahead and share my email address, but then I'm also going to share my personal cell phone number, which has probably been given out to about 10,000 people in the service industry in the last 12 months now. And I often get text messages and phone calls and I don't recognize. So if you do reach out, don't be upset if I don't know exactly who you are. But a great way to reach out to me would be Kinsey@conduitwc.com, or you could check out our website, www.conduitwc.com. And then my personal cell phone number is 770-837-1692. And then anyone that is listening to this, if you do go to our website and you see work being done to the website, we're undergoing a rebrand at the moment. So just ask that you guys be patient with that. The website is up and operational, and you can contact our team through chat on there if you'd like to chat through there. But we are going through a rebrand, and there is going to be days where we run into web issues.
And also, personally, if y'all want to reach out and kind of ask questions from a contractor side, kind of how we implemented it, anything like that, any questions you might want to answer, whatever, you can always call me on my cell phone, 770-503-6910. You can always call me, text me, and we can talk about HVAC, we can talk about plumbing, we can talk about the warranties, whatever you want to talk about. I'm happy to help as well. And I'm also on Facebook at Jacob G. I think it's Jacob Tate G is my middle name. If you want to Facebook me on there as well. So happy to help with anything, answer any questions, whatnot.
Excellent. Thanks so much for providing that information. We'll also add in some details into the show notes as well. Thanks, guys. We appreciate the chance to be able to talk and talk about this revolutionary thing that's going to be taking the industry by storm. We hope to have you guys back on too, again, to hear some more success stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, David. Really appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, no problem. Well, everyone, thanks for listening to this episode. Make sure you tune into the next one. Until next time.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Blueprint Boost for Contractors. We hope you found today's insights and strategies valuable for your contracting business. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and please leave us a review. Your feedback helps us bring content that truly matters.